the pronoun they is the appropriate pronoun to use for people, not he or she, but they or them. And the reason why, this is now approved by Merriam-Webster Dictionary, and the LGBTQ plus community has been promoting it, but it's really a biblical thing. We're two people. And it's divided like into a he and a she. But we're two people. And when you recognize this schizophrenia within you, you'll be closer to getting at your core, at your nakuva, your whole, at the center of these two. So they is the appropriate nomenclature, the appropriate pronoun for a person. I'm going to tell you how it came about for me, how I recognize this as appropriate. You know, I used to be involved in sexual philosophy 30 years ago, and I'm out of the nomenclature. I'm out of the words. So a few months ago, I started going to some lectures at a sex store, and I met a woman there who was pregnant, and she gave very good lectures, and I told it to her, and then I gave her a blessing for her child. And then now it's 4 or 5 months later, and I went back for another lecture, and I asked, oh, how's that woman who was pregnant? And she doing okay? And they said, oh, they are back at the store. And so I said to the girl that I was talking to, oh, they. I didn't know her partner, her husband, or mate worked here too. And so the person answered me, oh no, they is the pronoun that she goes by, that they go by. They doesn't use a binary pronoun of he or she. It's they. She goes by they. They, them, theirs. So they are back, meaning singularly. One person is back. They. But that person comprises two of the binary sexes, a he and a she. They doesn't identify with either he or she. It's a they. Why? Because they're two souls. This comes down in Tanya as the two souls that are in man. It's the two souls. It's the animal soul and the godly soul. The animal soul is below the gartel, and the godly soul is above the gartel. The animal soul is the soul of the behemoth, probably Elohim. And the godly soul is above, and it's Yud-Hey Vav-Hey. And the heart is actually the demarcation point. Below is the legs and the groin and the intestine, and above is the heart and the lungs and the brain. Two souls, they. And there is a feminine aspect of the lower aspect of the body, as Nakuva, and above as Adam, man. You have two souls. You have two yetzers. A yetzer hara and a yetzer tov. You are two. For we said this two-ness within you. My joke, night in Tunisia. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But where's its root of all this? And everything has to come out of Genesis, Bereshis. Chapter 5 in Bereshis. This is the book of the generation of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Then, male and female created he them. Otem, them. Them, male and female, he created he them, and blessed them and called their name Adam. Male and female created Adam. In the day they were created them. Them, they. You're two. Whether you know it or not, you're male and female. The original creation in Gan Eden was of male, of Adam, having both sex within him. Hava was part of him. Here, Genesis 1:27, God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female created he them. Them, otem. You know what I mean? Before the removal of Hava from Adam, Hava, the Zela, the rib, was in him. The original person has two parts. He's a them. He's a, well, just for fun, I'm going to sing Night in Tunisia. I'm just going to find this here. Yeah. Well, can't find the right, but he was created, two-faced and two parts, and for fun, for preservation of the species, he removed the woman from him. In your real sense, you have that composed within you. You're a them and a they and a theirs. Face it. You see, male and female inside you. So they're making a big deal, like that Merriam-Webster has included them as a non-binary pronoun. You are a non-binary pronoun. You are they. They. That's what you is. You is they. You have two parts. It's either a left and right, a front and back, an upper and a lower. Each represents the other half. So for purposes, we make the front kind of like masculine, the back feminine, the right masculine, the left feminine, the top masculine, the bottom feminine. And within all this is a nukuv, a whole, a core. And if you noticed, I mentioned 6 things. Top, bottom, front, back, left, right. Those are 6. Bereshis created 6. See? These 6 things make you into a cube. These are the 6 faces of the cube. And in the center of that cube, there's a core. There's a hole. A hole. In the middle of the, like they used to say in Christmas, ho, ho, ho. Well, that's what you have in the middle of your 6. 3 hoes for each one. Because the 2 symbolizes a 3 of the space between, of the thing between. Even when you separate with a gargle, the belt that separates the upper and the lower, there's a thing there. And that surrounds. And that surrounding is the whole. And these are the surrounding parts. So you have to find your center whole. Your ho. Your nakuv. Your core. As I've said before in jest, Johnny Appleseed is the one who taught me about the core of the apple. And living in the Big Apple, I should be the perfect person to talk about the core, taught to me by Johnny Appleseed. This is a very big deal. Quite frankly, the LGBTQ, then when it has the plus, you see, that plus actually represents the core. It represents the circle around the object petite a. It's the thing that can never be, it's the thing, the drive that can never be satisfied, and that's the core. See? There's no object to that core. The core is the core itself. Only if you look at yourself as they. They went to the movies. Luckily, they only had to buy 1 ticket. You see the price of movies these days. What would they like to eat? You're eating enough for 2. Sounds a little funny, but you're going to get used to it. Because if you enter into religiosity, then talk about yourself as they. Or talk about, it's a non-binary. How one views himself in this they how much to the right or how much to the left or how much to the male or the female, or even as an it, something that transcends the gender itself. You know? For fun now, in the elevator, you know, we have a lot of dogs. I talk to the dogs, oh, they are hungry today. They are licking a lot today. The split into gender is only like a visual kind of thing. It looks like an external kind of thing that you can tell a person male or female. There used to be a thing that you never forget if you met a male or a female. You know, you could forget the color of their eyes, their name, but you never forget if they were male or female. And today, that means like some sort of external presence. You can still tell to a great deal. But it's only a slight skin. Underneath that first layer of skin, there may be the other gender. And this is very important as we proceed on religious-wise and personal-wise as we approach these propitious days. They, the pronoun they, has its origins in Genesis, has its origins in Judaism as two-ness. And all of my videos have talked about this primal two-ness, which is now being accepted in the word they as a pronoun.